Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Clintonville Slasher. I'm your host, Coach Frank Wilkes, and today I want to talk about this film right here. Well, actually, today I want to welcome you guys to the first Saturday of February. So this will all be about love. So today I want to talk about the 2010. It's actually the remake of a 1941 classic, The Wolfman, starring Benicio del Toro and Anthony Hopkins, among many others. A rundown of the film is that you have a guy named Ben. The story takes place in a town in London in 1891, and during this time, this guy named Ben is looking for walking through the woods and is attacked by a werewolf. Later, this woman named Gwen, his fiance, writes to her brother Lawrence, who is an actor, saying that they have lost Ben and they haven't seen him in several weeks. So Lawrence leaves the stage and comes into his back to his home where he hasn't seen Ben in a really long time, or his father. And so he comes back and he begins the search for Ben. Now he goes around and he says, I'm going to go find my brother. So he goes and finds his brother, and he finds out that his brother has been brutally attacked. But the coroner gives him gives Lawrence Ben's effects, and he finds this medallion among many things of Ben's, and he gives it back to Gwen. But he decides he's going to find out what happened to his brother. So he goes into a neighboring farm. Now he finds out that his father, John, tells Lawrence that Ben was kind of the guy to talk between the gypsies. I hate that word, but the Romanians that kind of like they would keep their crime down, and when they ran out of pretty ladies to sell to the local gentlemen, that they would stay on their side, we would stay on our side. So Lawrence goes to the camp and finds out, he's trying to search for this medallion. And they're kind of standoffish with him. They're not really sure what to think about him. And they're like, why are you asking so many questions? And as this is going on, the townspeople think that what that's going on with the murders that have been happening in their little town, they think that it's one of the guys like dancing bears. And so they're like, well, no, this bear, all he does is dance. And as Lawrence is searching the camp, a werewolf comes out of nowhere and brutally attacks this entire village, and it just starts tearing up the camp. And so the people and the wolf is like circling the entire farm, or the entire camp, and is just like tearing people to fucking shreds. And he sees this little boy run off, and he grabs a rifle and he starts chasing after this kid, and he tells him to stop. Well, then Lawrence is attacked and he's bit on the neck, but the townspeople rescue him. They nurse him back to health. But as the story goes, if you're bitten by a werewolf, the only thing that they bring him back to the camp. They stitch him up. As they're stitching him, as the Romanian women are stitching him up, they're saying the only way he could be set free is to be taken out by a person that loves him. So 3 or 4 days pass by, and he slowly starts realizing that this wound on his neck naturally goes away. In comes this inspector, and this inspector, his name is Francis, and he comes in and he talks to Lawrence, and he's telling him, hey, so what's going on? They have this sit down, and he's like, I know lots of things about you. And this inspector is kind of on his last will, because the inspector was on the Jack the Ripper case a few years earlier, and it failed miserably. So he's kind of on this last case to figure out what's going on in this small town. So as he's figuring out what's going on with this small town, that's when Lawrence turns into a werewolf. And when he turns into a werewolf, he finds these the townspeople set up this trap for him, and they set up this elk, and they set up all this stuff to catch him. And so when they catch him and Lawrence gets to them, he tears all the guys up setting up this trap, just rips them to shreds, guts, blood, heads, fucking everywhere. And then he falls asleep in his tree, and his dad's like, Lawrence, wake up. You've done terrible things. You've done very terrible things. And so the inspector and some of the townspeople capture him, and they bring him to an insane asylum. Now, years prior to this, he was actually taken to the insane asylum years before this because he witnessed his mother taking her own life. Or at least that's what Lawrence thought. Then as he's in the insane asylum, they're doing this horrible tortures to him. They're dumping him into water. He's having like nervous breakdown flashbacks. They're doing like electric shock therapy on him. They're just basically mangling his mind. And when he's in the infirmary or in his cell, his dad comes to him and basically tells him, like, look, I'm the werewolf and I don't want to be caged anymore. I want to let the beast run free. So now Lawrence is stuck in this insane asylum, knowing that his father's actually the one who is the beast, because he was actually bitten on the wrist when during a hunting trip, and that's how he became a werewolf. And he actually is the one who actually killed his mom, his wife, and his mind got broken, and he just thought that he saw his mom kill himself. But what actually happened was the wolf killed him. Wolf killed his mom. So what's going on after that is they wheel Lawrence in front of all these other doctors, and they tell him, and they got him trapped to this chair, and they're like, all right, well, Mr. Lawrence, you're crazy, okay? You're not going to be a werewolf. The full moon's not going to turn you. That's all insane. And the wolf, as the doctor's turning to talk to his colleagues, he's begging them, like Lawrence is begging them as he's strapped to this wheelchair, like tied up, is gagged. He's like, let me go or kill me, because I'm going to turn into a werewolf. And the moon comes out of the shadows of the clouds and shines on him, and he turns into a wolf. And everybody's screaming at the doctor, look, doctor, turn around, turn around, turn around. And he busts out of the chair, and he just fucks up everybody. He grabs one of the guards, tears out his fucking liver, so gnarly, runs through the town of London. He's running across the streets. He's on top of the roofs. He takes the doctor, wings him out of the window. The doctor hits the ground, impales him on the stakes. He's running through the streets. He's getting on the roofs, and the inspector starts chasing him. He's grabbing the other constables as they're running, and they're trying to shoot at him. They block the roads. They start shooting at him, and he gets away. And so then he gets away, and he starts tearing people up in London, and he falls asleep under this bridge, looking at the London Bridge, and he's drinking the water, and he becomes back to be a human being again. So he sneaks back in through town, and he finds Gwen at this shop, and he tells her, hey, I need to go get my dad. So she helps him escape. The constable and the inspector, they come in, and they tear the whole shop apart looking for him, and they start tearing the shop apart looking for him, and they can't find him anywhere. So Lawrence makes his way through the woods, this long, treacherous journey through the backwoods, backcountry roads, back to his father's house. Then when he gets to his dad's house, back at night, they have this epic battle of two werewolves fucking clashing into each other, and this fight breaks out, and they tear the shit out of each other. The house is on fire. Lawrence throws his dad into the fire, cuts his head off, and he's dead. And then Lawrence runs out of the woods chasing Gwen. Now, it's said that the only person that can kill the werewolf is somebody who loves him. Is the only person that can do that. And Gwen falls in love with Lawrence. And as he attacks her at this waterfall, she's telling him, look in my eyes, Lawrence. It's me. And he sees the constable and all the other townspeople and the inspectors coming at him. And he howls at the moon one last time, and she shoots him through the heart. And as he lays there dying, they have an embrace and one last kiss, and he says, thank you. And that's the end of the film. Now, what I thought about this movie, it's a little bit CGI for my taste, but the kill scenes are fucking absolutely gnarly. The fact that Anthony Hopkins is a bad guy in this, chef's kiss, because Anthony Hopkins kills it in every role. Now, I've actually never seen the 1941 original film, but I plan on watching it and trying to do comparisons to them. But other than the CGI, the acting was great. The sets are awesome. The costume design is spectacular. And for 2010 film, it is very good. Like I said, the kill scenes are fucking amazing. Little CGI at times, but all in all, I think it's a fucking fantastic movie. It's a fucking banger. So if you guys want to check it out, it is streaming for free on Peacock right now. If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. I post every Saturday. Stay horror. Have a great Saturday, and we'll see you next time. Stay fucking horror. Later days.